ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Solopreneurs Unite. I am absolutely loving this summit because we are making such awesome friends and partners and learning so much about social media secrets for a profitable, recession-proof business. Now, if you're here, you are possibly very, very familiar with limiting beliefs, imposter syndrome, the things that make you want to hit post, but then you hesitate and you wonder, what are they thinking? What are they saying? When they don't comment, it's a problem. When they comment, it's a problem. When you want to follow up, it's a problem. Like all the things now, which is why I am really, really excited to introduce to you Wambui Mburu. Wambui is a good friend of mine. I was introduced to her by another friend of mine. She is based in the USA. Is this Atlanta?
This is New York.
Long New Island, York. She's based in New York, yes. Yeah. And she'll tell you all about the amazing journey that she's had building up her online business alongside her corporate, very demanding job and transforming awesome people in the process. All right, Wambui, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much, MaryG. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Yes.
So I was so excited that you invited me to this summit because I do know that a lot of us don't really fully show up. We are afraid to show up because we have these beliefs or these fears of being criticized.
Yes.
So that was me before. I used to dim my light, and every time I was on my way to success, I'd be like, "Ooh, who am I to say this? Who am I to teach this? Who do I think you are?" You know, like I had that voice asking, "Who do you think you are?" So I had to work very hard with mentors and coaches. I got myself mentors and coaches who I worked with to help me send those limiting beliefs to the curb. Because we live in a world where, again, like I said, a lot of us are not showing up like we should.
Yes.
We owe it to ourselves because life is very short. You know, life is very short to live, to play small.
Yes.
So,
awesome.
Yes, that's when I started coaching women, and I wanted to, because I found, a lot of my friends and even just co-workers wanted to step up, but they didn't know how to. They would always, like I said, pull back and self-sabotage. Yeah,
exactly. So maybe you can tell us a little bit about what led you to this point of even thinking about an online business, and why an online business anyway, before now we get into some of the things that hold people back and what they can do about them.
True. Yes. So I've always been an entrepreneur. I remember when I was in high school, I was 14 years old back in Kenya, and I would buy bras and sell them to my friends in school.
Wow.
I was a businesswoman at 14. So I've always been an entrepreneur. My parents were entrepreneurs, so I think I got that spirit from them. And then when I finished my business degree, I wanted to be self-employed. I've always wanted to do something on the side. I just feel like there's always something out there. There's so many opportunities.
Yes.
And the one thing that I thought would work well with me, I had young children at that time. So I thought that an online business would be the answer because there's so much out there, there's a whole lot you can do online. So I took this and I took courses about online marketing, about social media marketing, and I started advising small businesses on how to use Facebook as a marketing tool. So that's how I got the first clients I got were my, small businesses who wanted to do, to help really with how to use social media. Right. So that's how I started my online business.
Okay. And now how did that journey evolve to working with women? Because you mentioned you work specifically with women.
Yes. I feel like we live in a world where, women are not very empowered. We are not empowered to show up. I mean, like a man will show up with a lot of confidence because they're believing in themselves.
Yeah.
And I myself, as a woman, I felt I needed to change that. I needed to change that narrative with myself.
Right.
And then help others because I'm surrounded with many friends who are women, and I could see that they were limiting themselves.
Yes.
So that's why I wanted to work with women. And I do work with men, but most of my client ideal audience is women.
Okay. And when you work with them, what is the journey that you walk them through? Like, what does your solution exactly entail before now we dive into the mindset piece?
Right. So the solution, the journey entails finding what your why is. What is your why? What do you want? Finding, once we figure out where, in fact, we start with where you are. Where are you right now?
Right.
You tell me where you are and where do you want to go? So we start with finding those steps, that journey towards, okay, so what's making you stuck? Because you're here right now, you don't know what is the next step. How do we work with this? So we actually just start with what's your skill sets? Because most of the people that I work with, they either have a 9 to 5, or they're aspiring entrepreneurs, and they know very well they have something that they want to share with the world, but they don't know how to. So we start with finding what your skill set is. What is that? What is your zone of genius? What is that one thing that you can do even without being paid, and you love it, right? Yes. Once we find what your skill set is, then we talk about what is your personality, because all plays in. So we do a personality test, which is very easy. We do go online and we do that. We determine what is your personality together with your skill set, and then we figure out, okay, what can you do with your skill set to share with the world? Because I do believe that we all have at least a 10% edge of something that we can teach the rest of the room, everybody in the room.
Absolutely.
Right. So that's the journey. So we start with where are you right now? What's making you stuck? We weed out that, and then we, put some fertilizer and
yes.
And like I said, find your skill sets, and then find the personality, and then what's really holding you back.
Okay, awesome. And I really like that, because I think we have had over that for you to be able to run a business, 90% of it is up here. Yes. Right? If you cannot deal with what is up here in your head and holding you back, you will never be able to make that business a success. It will be so difficult, if not impossible. So I think that's the point where I ask you, so based on your experience and your work with clients, and even what you do in your corporate job, because I think that also plays a little bit into it, what have you found as some of the key things that would help somebody who is not showing up fully, right? Holding themselves back?
Right. So it's fear. Fear is number one. Fear of criticism, fear of failure. I've found that even a lot of people are even afraid to take a promotion because they're afraid. Oh, I'm not ready. I don't think I can do that. Yes. Or like me, I remember I created a course where I spent 9 months, and I was, I spent a lot of time, blood, sweat, tears. And I did the first webinar, but after the first webinar, I put it on the shelf. I was like, who am I to teach this stuff? So,
yes.
Yes, I put it on the shelf. I didn't sell it. And so it's what I find is it's a lot of fear of criticism or fear of failure. There's just so much fear. So that's what holds a lot of people back.
Okay. And what can they do about it then? Now that we identify, okay, so now we are scared. So then what? Because we all know social media is a tool that is very, very useful.
Yeah. Social media is very useful. And I mean, we can, use it for free, or before you even think of using it as making ads and using it, paying to play. So what I do, what I think, and what I advise my clients to do is to use that fear to push you forward. Okay. You ask yourself, is fear more important? What matters right now? Is it my business? Is it my family? Is it I'm worthy? Just like telling yourself, I'm worthy of this. My
Yes.
family is worthy of this.
Mm-hmm.
So use that imposter syndrome, because I think it's a lot of it is imposter syndrome of who am I to do this. Use it to propel you forward.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't feel comfortable and you want to learn more skills, so learn more skills so you can now be, have that confidence.
Yes.
And then a lot of it also is what you're telling yourself, the negative conversation that's going on in your mind.
Mm-hmm.
So I say work on it and use affirmations. So like if you look at my desk, it has stickers. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me.
Mm-hmm.
I got this. So sometimes you look at something and you're like a sticker on your computer and you're like, okay, I can do this. I can do this.
Yes.
It's really using that fear and that imposter syndrome to propel you forward.
Mm-hmm.
And just make a decision. It's like just make a decision and take action.
Got
and
it.
Today I will take action.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter who's going to say what's going on, what did you post, and most of the time people are not even thinking about you.
Maybe they're not even looking at you.
They're not even looking at you. So it's about that. Making a decision. This is what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
I want to fully show up. So show up, just show up fully and say, okay, my business matters. I'm worthy of this. Mm-hmm. And don't worry about who's saying what. And again, know you have at least a 10% edge of something that you can teach.
Yes.
Right.
Exactly. And I like this conversation because a lot of us always underestimate what we know, right? Because it is too easy, it's too obvious. Right. So we downplay it quite a bit, right? Mm-hmm. And then we start looking for those big, gigantic things that, are going to move mountains. Like those are the things I should be doing. And yet, actually, no. Those are the ones that are even going to intimidate you even more.
Exactly. They will intimidate you more. And the thing is to start with those small steps. And I'm speaking to myself, consistency, small steps, just do a small step. It will add to those big things. It's going to now, the resort into that big mountain. But you have to start small and you have to start.
It compounds.
Exactly. It compounds. Mm-hmm. And another thing I find is that, so we have these big goals sometimes. And then, you want to travel somewhere, you want to buy a house, you want to build this business that you want. And then we get stuck with, the font in our website, is this a good font?
The things that don't really matter, actually.
Thank you. The things that don't matter. The things that don't matter. So don't worry about what your website looks like. Worry about what can I put up there? How can I serve the world? Who can I serve today?
Okay. Right. That really helps quite a bit. Okay, so getting clear on why they're doing it, right? Mm-hmm. Taking small steps rather than focusing on big steps. Right. Positive thinking and positive energy will attract positive energy, right?
Yes.
What else? How else can somebody deal with their own heads?
Yes. Another thing. Always go back to your successes. Mm-hmm. What have you done before?
Yes.
You may be a parent. Do you think parenting is easy? It's not easy. So go back to that. If I could do that, if I could parent, I can do this. It could be something you did in middle school. You may have won an award. You went to college. You went to school. You went. Those always go back to those successes and say, mm-hmm. If I could do this, I can do this.
Right.
All back to successes. And then also join a community of people who can support you. People who you have the same mindset, almost, you have the same values.
Yes.
And then when you're playing small, they'll tell you, oh, no, you're not playing small, Mary. Okay? You're playing small. So
people will push you.
People who will push you. Right. Yeah. So work on your mindset, those negative things, the negative thoughts that you're telling yourself. Always have something, it's like an affirmation. I can do this. I got this. And speak to, because, thoughts are very powerful. What we're telling ourselves is very powerful. the way our subconscious mind works is that it doesn't differentiate between a negative thought and a positive thought.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't we spend time just, thinking positive things?
Right.
So you got this. Tell yourself you got this. And also, just refer to your successes. Right.
Right.
And
you're right. Your thoughts become reality.
They do.
I don't think people realize just how powerful their heads actually are.
No.
Because if they did, they would never think some of the things that they think about or talk about themselves the way they do.
I read this book. I'm actually reading this book called Think and Grow Rich.
Mm-hmm.
That book, I think everybody should read it because it tells you about the thoughts, our thoughts. And it says, whatever you keep feeding your subconscious mind, it's actually going to give it to you in the physical form.
Yes.
So I know it's like, okay, what you've been telling your subconscious, it will actually present you like, here it is. This is what you've been. Here it is.
Yes.
So start changing your thinking, your negative thinking. Don't think about it. Say, I'm not thinking about that. And
right.
Use a positive thought.
And that is so powerful because I think somebody made a statement to me not too long ago, and they were like, just whatever results you are having right now is directly related to what you are thinking about and what you're believing. You can't lie to your subconscious. You can't lie to yourself.
No.
That's
so true. So true. That is the results you have. It's due to the thoughts you've been feeding your mind. So why don't you wake up every day, say an affirmation, just build daily habits, say an affirmation and say positive things. And I'm telling you, you do that. At the end of 30 days, you're going to be a whole different person.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is so cool.
Taking action. Don't think about what they're going to say. Don't worry about what people are going. Just go ahead and post on social media. Do a live Facebook, a Facebook Live, an Insta Live, something.
Yeah, something.
Yeah. And you will feel. And by the way, you're gonna feel afraid. So do it afraid.
True. If they're waiting for that, if you're waiting for the day that you don't feel afraid, it will never happen.
Oh, it will never happen. It will never happen.
Yes.
It will never happen.
So
that's how. Go ahead.
So if they should take anything away from this whole session, it's the fear will never go away. So just do whatever it is that you're scared about.
Just do it scared. Do it scared. Take that one step. And I'm telling you, once you start doing it, just post that one post. Put that one post online. Even if it's a quote, even if you don't want to show your face, start with a quote. And then tomorrow, start with something, do something else.
Yes.
And then go live, and it's like, oh, I did it. 5 minutes. Even just say, hi, everybody. This is Wambui, and I do this, and tell people what you do. And if by the way, I'm so afraid.
By the way?
Yeah, because people like the truth.
It's true. It is so true.
They're going to buy into. They actually get invested with vulnerability because I'm really afraid today, but I got to do this. If I say, Wambui told me to do it.
Yes, it's very interesting that you say that because somebody asked me the other day, how have you been posting so consistently for so long? And I'm like, Mark Zuckerberg gave me the secret. Every time when you're starting a new post, and then what do you see up there? What's on your mind?
I like that.
So okay, what's on my mind? So you just go ahead and just put something up. That's what's on your mind. Right. And then when you actually doing that often enough, now you're building up the habit, you're building up the muscle. And that's exactly what you're saying, right?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Start small, then you build that muscle. And in fact, once you now start building that muscle, you'll even feel, if you don't do it, you're going to feel, oh, there's something amiss. There's something wrong. That's just a habit you built. Yeah. Yeah.
I love this Wambui, and I could talk to you all day, but I know you have limited time. So I guess just before in the last few minutes, I want to ask you, I know you have a gift for all the attendees of the Solopreneurs Unite. Do you want to tell us a little bit about what that is and how it's going to help them?
Yes, I do. So like I said, the first thing I do is I work with people who are stuck and maybe they don't even know what their skill set is, and they want to, what can I even offer the world? So I have a guide called Discover Your Skill Sets. And you can find it in my website. So go to wambuimburu.com and you will find under resources, you will find that gift. It's a free guide. And I walk you through your soft skills, your hard skills. We do the assessment of your personality. And after that, we kind of now start figuring what is your zone of genius. And then that's now what you would use to share with the world. Because once you figure out what do I enjoy? So that becomes really your zone of genius.
Okay. And where can people follow you if they want to know more about you and what you do?
Sure. So on Facebook, I'm Wambui Mburu. That's my Facebook page, my business page. And then you can also follow me on my personal page, which is Wambui Mburu. Those two. And on Instagram, I'm wambuig.mburu.
Okay. Awesome. So thank you so much. This has been a really, really valuable conversation. And I don't think we can talk about mindset too much because it is such an important piece of the puzzle. So thank you so much for coming to share your wisdom and your expertise in this area. And I think they're going to get a lot of value from the resource that you share about now get the nitty-gritty.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mary.
You're very welcome. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Yeah. Bye-bye.